Hey, what's going on, IG peeps? I'm talking about the ab wheel here. One of my favorite tools actually to train the abs directly, even though admittedly I don't love a ton of direct ab work. We recently did a podcast on how to get a six-pack with no sit-ups. And obviously nutrition is the base of that, but there are a handful of tools I do like to do direct ab training, and the ab wheel is one of them. So I'm gonna walk through a real fast tutorial of how to do it properly and correctly. Now, there's a handful of ab wheels out there. We actually have the small core wheels. There is the smaller ab wheel. I do like the bigger one for a lot of you guys starting out. I think it gives you a better base of support, lets you guys play with range of motion depending on if you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So the biggest key when you guys do set up and you're gonna use this, it's all based on range of motion, how much core strength or trunk integrity you have. So the biggest mistake I see when people grab the ab wheel and they use it is they're not confident in the movement yet, and they do what we call almost like kneading dough, like they're trying to make a pizza, and that's not it. So the wrong way to do it would be you guys set up your exchange, my butt and hips are back, and what they do is they're not confident in rolling out, so they'll extend the hands, and it's almost like they're trying to just knead, dough for Friday night pizza night. That doesn't do anything other than make you look like a clown. So the biggest key we tell our people when they set up is, imagine if you had a string from your belly button to the wheel, and as the wheel goes, the butt and hips go. So you guys know, if you're not super confident with the pattern yet, I set up right over hands, right over the shoulders, real simple. I'm gonna pull this out even 6 inches to maybe 12 inches. For most of you who are beginning, that is enough to initiate the movement and give you enough stimulus to let the trunk actually work. So as I push the wheel forward, my butt and hips have to move forward the same 6 inches to a foot. It gets tight, you guys pull back in, you breathe, relax. The biggest key when you guys do build confidence, you can have full range of motion. So some of you who can own the pattern, you roll all the way out, the body's contracted, it's tight, you guys pull back in, you breathe, you relax, you reset. When you're here, when you guys are at full extension, that's when the abs are tight. When you pull back in, I can breathe, I can relax, I can take a second, and then at your own pacing. A good rule of thumb, if you guys can get anywhere between probably 10 to 15 quality, legit, full range of motion reps, you guys are well on your way. Now, what I will say is this, as you guys are rolling with it, you can play with the directions and certain angles when you're with it, but you have to actually make the abs do the work and stop the pattern. So when you squat, obviously gravity is going to stop you at some point. It's going to help you actually come down to the bottom of your squat. With the ab wheel, it doesn't work quite the same. You have to actually use a little mind-muscle connection, if you will, and let your abs actually do the stopping for you. So the biggest thing we'll get people with a roll out, and what will happen is they'll roll, they'll have a little hip sag or lag like this, and what they'll say is, oh wow, it pinches in my lumbar, like the lower back. And again, you might feel, again, when I'm talking the abs in your trunk, it's rectus, but it's the obliques, intercostals. It's like a corset. That's how your abs work. It's like a corset that wraps around the body. And when you guys actually roll out, you have to actually stop and flex the abs, let them be tight, and then you guys pull it back in. Otherwise, what happens is when you do feel a pinch in the low back, essentially what's happening is the abs are turning off and your low back is actually taking over so you don't fall completely flat on your face. So if you find yourself where it's really pinching in that low back area, 2 things. Slow the movement down, maybe cut the range of motion short just slightly. 6 inches to a foot is probably fine. Squeeze the abs when you guys get to kind of like that full extension or your apex, and then roll it back in. And over time, as you guys build strength and confidence, you can play with the full range of motion. So again, take it slow, really simple pattern. Again, let the abs do the stopping. And again, as you guys go, as the wheels go, the hips go. So if that wheel goes out a foot, your butt and hips have to go out about the same distance. It's not kneading dough, but again, slow it down, take your time. Throw this in a couple times a week. I would say most of you guys who are starting out, anywhere from 3 to 4 sets, 2-3 times a week. It's a pattern that honestly you can do every day if you alter, the volume and the tempo of it. But for most of you, 2-3 times a week is going to be plenty. And obviously, if you guys eat right, at a deficit, macros in check, and fat loss is a goal, this is a great way to have the abs actually pop once you guys have the lean enough body fat for it to show. So, any other questions on the ab wheel or any patterns we do here, tag me below, shoot me a message. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Tons more of these coming on IGTV and our YouTube as well. Peace.